And now the A-Main, the big show. Brett Shepherd, Ramsey, McCutcheon, Gouchy and Barry. What a lineup of blown alcohol boats here at the mighty Windsor Marine Stadium. And they are absolutely on it, 140, 150 mile an hour. Down into turn number one. There is spray, there is action, there is noise. I tell you what, if you've never seen these supercharged alcohol boats live, do yourself a favour and get to a venue and watch them, because fair dinkum, your ears don't come good for a week. But Brett Shepherd was the man on pole position, and he was always going to be very, very tough to beat from there. But you can see Tate Ramsey like a yappy little dog there on the outside, just trying to make up some ground and get around the outside of him. Quite a decent gap opens up though early in the piece as we come up to the end of lap number one, and you can see Shepherd coming in there at pole one and exiting, and McCutcheon there running pole one and exiting on pole one. So all these guys trying different race lines, different tactics to try and get it going. We've got the Reckless there in the wash and in the spray as well. So Tate Ramsey working absolutely overtime. Shepherd pushing hard now. We go on board with Jamie McCutcheon now. And no, he's put it around. McCutcheon's had a spin. Disappointing for him. Dean Barry goes through. He says, I'll have that, thank you very much. As Tate Ramsey still pushing very hard, as on the end of lap one, we've got Shepherd, Ramsey, Gouchy, McCutcheon and Barry. Although McCutcheon with that spin, that will swap over. So unleashed now, Brett Shepherd with it all before him. Dean Barry pushing very hard. It's great to see Dean up and about in his home state, at his home track, doing a great job. But at the end, it was Brett Shepherd back to Tate Ramsey into second place. Let's go to the replay now. This is on board with Mark Gouchy as he comes down the back straight. And if you hear there, the engine has a little bit of a pop over the rough water. He comes to a stop. Now keep your eye on the Bulldog, because he has a spin. You see Barry go around the outside of him. There's an absolute graveyard of boats there. McCutcheon got back up and going again, but as you can see there, the next corner, the engine has a sneeze, comes to a stop, lower belt stops turning around. Never a good sign for a blown boat. But at the end of the day, it was Brett Shepherd taking the win in the Unleashed and holding the checkered flag high.
Despite receiving the checkered flag, news came almost immediately after Shepherd had returned to the ramp that a start penalty was pending. The Victorian deemed to have not held his line on the exit of the opening turn. All boats being required to hold position in their starting lanes through the opening turn, regardless of their starting position, moving into another lane, incurring a one-lap penalty. Needing to inspect footage to confirm the penalty, emotions were high in the pit area, past decisions from other events being hurled at officials, but ultimately they stood firm, as did the penalty in accordance with the rulebook, dropping Shepherd back from first to third.
It's a very hard job to make those calls, but if you're instructed to hold your line through that first corner, if you don't, you need to be pulled up. Everyone that's around me has a different opinion, and I can guarantee you I will be pulled up for the same thing. You come into the corner as fast as you can, you go through that first corner, and there is always a chance that that boat's going to move out sideways, because you are trying to get the most out of your boat on that first corner. The race is won and lost on that first corner.
Technically, they hand you the checkered flag and everything else, and you've thought, oh, we've won the race. You know, with horse racing and that sort of stuff, if there's a protest, it's looked at straight away, and you're disqualified instantly. You don't have any chance to do that. When if there was that big interference on that corner, they should have pulled me up straight away and maybe give the flag to the other driver.
We need to police the rules so that every driver knows every venue we go to, we race to the rule book. Because the problem at the moment is there's a bit of up and down with what happens here, then what happens at another race meeting, and drivers get confused of what we can and can't do. Because 1 minute it's police, 1 minute it's not. We want to move the sport forward, and we want the drivers to know we will run to a rule book, which we made quite clear at the drivers' briefing, knowing that you actually won the race but then got penalised. Look, in all honesty, I would have been upset if it was myself, so I'm sure a lot of drivers can understand it, but at the end of the day, we've got rules to race to as drivers too. So we all want to race and we want everyone to come back and race, but they're the rules.
With the result declared official, Tate Ramsey was credited with the win, Dean Barry delivering an impressive second despite missing hot laps. Whilst with Mark Gouchy and Jamie McCutcheon suffering late race DNFs, Shepherd was declared third. Although with the outcome clearly still raw, the Victorian refused to receive his trophy post-event as a declaration of his frustration.
That was a great race. It was a great start. They'd been dropping the flag pretty early, so she was a long drag down to the first corner, but by the time the field got to the first corner, to have 5 boats going in at the one time, it was a buzz from a driver's point of view, and I'm sure from a spectator's point of view it would have been fantastic. I don't enjoy being in the middle of the controversy. I don't go looking for it, that's for sure, but just the way it's worked out over the last couple of major race meetings, we've been in the thick of it.
We were with them right down the bottom corner. I think we came out first or second. The boat was feeling really strong, got through the first lap, and we hit some really dirty water on the second lap. Lost a little bit of power, lost drive coming the corner, and also we lost an alternator as well. So that was the end of my race, which is a shame because I was feeling pretty confident about it from where we were.
Despite everything that played out after the race, the 2 top boats of the weekend finished the inaugural National Drivers' Championship tied on points. Tate Ramsey and Brett Shepherd sharing the #1 classification, Ramsey though winning the event. Consistency is the talk of the new structure, and Damon Thurgood delivered on that front with 3rd, whilst Dean Barry was back down the order after failing to make hot laps. So that's it for the 2023 National Drivers' Championship, another dramatic event that laid the foundations for what promises